This is News Track coming to you from our review studio. I am Nisi Alan. President Bola Tinubu has assured citizens that ongoing reforms in the Nigerian power sector will deliver a more transparent, accountable, sustainable, and responsive electricity sector that main initiative, consistency, partnership, technical excellence, and commitment. President Tinubu said the presidential metering initiative transcends strengthening the electricity sector by creating meaningful employment opportunities for young Nigerians while equipping them with future-ready technical skills. The Nigerian leader explained that the federal government, in partnership with state governments and other stakeholders, will progressively expand the program to accommodate more Nigerian youths, with the number of participants expected to increase to as many as 500,000. He emphasized that the government is deliberately building the skilled workforce required to install smart meters efficiently, professionally, at scale through the Power Force program. The president expressed confidence that the first cohort of 5,000 trainees being trained by the National Power Training Institute of Nigeria would become the backbone of Nigeria's smart metering program, helping to ensure that millions of households and businesses receive professionally installed meters that meet the highest technical and safety standards. Speaking on the role of smart metering in transforming the Nigerian power sector, the president said it would play a critical role in transforming the electricity value chain by replacing estimated billing with accurate measurement, uncertainty with confidence, and suspicion with trust. It empowers consumers to manage their energy usage while providing discourse with reliable revenue streams to improve service delivery. The Executive Secretary of the Presidential Metering Initiative (PMI) and Special Advisor to the President on Energy, Olu Vehijan, said that the federal government is deploying more than 7 million smart meters under what she described as the largest metering program in Nigeria's history. 7 million meters requires thousands of skilled Nigerians. Capital can be raised, equipment can be procured, but no nation develops without capable people. Plateau State Office of the National Population Commission is set to commence the digital registration of birth and death under the Electronic Civil Registration and Vital Statistics System. Commissioner representing Plateau State in the commission, Mary Afan, stated this when briefing journalists on nationwide digital birth and death registration. Our correspondent was at the commissioner's office venue of the event.
Briefing journalists on the commencement of the nationwide digital birth and death registration, Commissioner representing Plateau State at the National Population Commission, Mary Afan, said the initiative is a build-up to the launch of the Electronic Civic Registration and Vital Statistics System by President Bola Tinubu on the 8th of November 2023. She said the step is aimed at strengthening civic registration, enhancing the generation of vital statistics, and to ensure that every birth and death occurring in the state is captured through modern and digital system.
This digital innovation is one of the most transformative reforms in the history of civil registration in Plateau State. It reflects the Commission's unwavering commitment to leveraging technology to improve service delivery, strengthen data integrity, and guarantee that every birth and every death occurring in Plateau State is documented accurately and securely.
Afan stated that Nigerian records an estimated 5 million births and deaths annually, with millions going unregistered.
These gaps deprive many Nigerians of legal identity and limit the availability of reliable data needed for effective national planning. Plateau State has 94 functional registration centers across all the 17 local government areas and will soon expand to have more registration centers to cover all hard-to-reach areas in the states.
She reiterated the Commission's commitment to strengthen vital statistics as a key pillar of their agenda, particularly in the area of digital transformation, stakeholders' engagement, and improved service delivery. In Jos, Bridget Rothschild.
The Plateau State House of Assembly has held a valedictory session in honor of a former Second Republic lawmaker, His Royal Highness Nicholas Selvan Musa Ponli Timwat, paying glowing tributes to his legacy of selfless service, integrity, and democratic governance. Our House of Assembly correspondent reports on this and other proceedings during Thursday's plenary.
The solemn valedictory session, sponsored by member representing Langtang North Abel Nansar through a prayer before the floor of the House, brought together lawmakers, family members and other dignitaries to honor the memory of His Royal Highness Nicholas Selvan Musa Ponji Timwat, who represented Langtang North constituency in the Second Republic and died at the age of 92.
The working life of Honorable Nicholas Selvan Musa was characterized by versatility, integrity, exceptional leadership.
I wish to use this privileged opportunity to pay condolences to the immediate family of our most senior colleague.
Speaker of the House, Nanlong Daniel, said his exemplary leadership and contributions to lawmaking will remain a source of inspiration for future generations.
We truly appreciate government's life. These are men and women who laid the foundation on which we are writing on today.
During plenary, a letter from Governor Caleb Mutfwang seeking an amendment to the 2026 appropriation law to accommodate developmental priorities was read before the House. Also presented was a communication from the State Auditor General on the state and local government accounts, which was referred to the House Standing Committee on Public Accounts and Petitions for scrutiny. The House also considered a motion of urgent public importance moved by member representing Pangshin North, Gabriel Dewan, over the recent attacks in Takas and other communities in Panshin local government area. After deliberations, lawmakers called for a comprehensive overhaul of the state security architecture to prevent further attacks. The House also received for second reading a bill to establish the Plateau State Institute for Advanced Legislative, Leadership and Democratic Studies and other related matters 2025, sponsored by Speaker Nanlong Daniel and read by the Majority Leader Joseph Gokum. After deliberations, the bill scaled third reading. Meanwhile, consideration of the report on the bill to establish the Plateau State Health Management Information System, Diseases and Geometric Banking and Other Related Matters 2025, sponsored by Yakubu Sanda, second reading, was stepped down until the next legislative sitting. In Jos, I am Shamakiga.
Plateau State is endowed with enormous water resources capable of making it be among the top producers of fish and other aquatic foods for human consumption. Commissioner of Livestock Development, Veterinary Services and Fisheries, Dr. Sunday Appa, made their session at a one-day stakeholders workshop on diagnostic survey of the fisheries and aquaculture sector in the state. Our correspondent was at the Christian Royal College, Raku Baleng venue of the event.
Declaring the workshop open, Plateau State Commissioner of Livestock Development, Veterinary Services and Fisheries, Dr. Sunday Appa, said it is embarrassing for Nigeria to import fish and other aquatic products considering its enormous water endowments. Appa added that Plateau has enough water resources to engage in fish farming and the market is big enough.
Nigeria is the highest populated country here in Africa. The market is there. And that is why I think that we need to look at the value chain in the fish.
Speaking earlier, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, that was Stephen Daliop, urged all Plateau citizens to go into fish and aquatic farming as it is a healthy source of protein.
Fisheries business and aquaculture is a business that everybody should be doing now, especially the old people.
Lead consultant of the project, Prosper Istifanus, said the time is now administration wants to restructure the fisheries and aquatic sector in the state.
The consultancy was given for us to carry out an in-depth survey of all the value chain actors across the 3 senatorial districts in Plateau State.
Director of Fisheries and Aquaculture, Ministry of Livestock Development, Veterinary Services and Fisheries, Wilfred Dakie, praised the initiative of Governor Caleb Mutfwang in resuscitating the sector.
The Governor of Plateau State, Professor Caleb Mutfwang, have graciously given us the opportunity to go into survey. of to know the constraint, the strength, or whatever that is bedeviling Plateau State fishery and aquaculture sector.
There was a goodwill message from the state chairman of the Fisheries Society of Nigeria, Albert Tokat. This is Wajal Mantu.
Technology and engineering can help solve the current security challenges bedeviling Nigeria. President, Digital Bridge Institute, David Dasser, made the session during the 2026 Annual General Meeting, investiture and induction of new fellows of the Academy of Natural Science and Engineering in Nigeria. Our correspondent was at the auditorium of the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, University of Jos, venue of the event.
The 2026 Annual General Meeting of ANSEN was designed to celebrate excellence, innovation, scholarship, and dedicated service to science, engineering, and national development. Delivering a lecture on the topic, Nigeria's Security Conundrum, Harnessing Science, Engineering, and Technological Innovations for Solutions, guest speaker David Dasser said Nigeria's security challenges can be curbed through the use of technological innovations such as cameras, drone surveillance, artificial intelligence, and the current Database Act signed by President Bola Tinubu will help to harmonize the issue of identity.
The security conundrum is a problem that requires an all-hands approach. We are all practitioners in solving Nigeria's security problem. It is not just a challenge for the security organizations. Everyone, researchers have to bring in their input, policymakers have to bring in their input, students have to bring in their ideas, and that is only way we can solve Nigeria's security problem.
President, Academy of Natural Science and Engineering in Nigeria, Professor Danladi Matawal, stressed that Nigeria faces complex challenges such as security, water supply and environment, health and economic development, adding that the solutions are hinged in science, engineering and technology.
But also a affirmation of our collective resolve to advance science, engineering and technology for the benefit of our nation.
Vice Chancellor of the University of Jos, Professor Tanko Ishaya, who was also the chairman of the public lecture, informed engineering students that bagging a first-class degree is important, but thinking about how to solve local problems is very fundamental.
We should look at research not just for academic publications. We should do research for innovation, and we should pursue that innovation for commercialization.
The event featured investiture and induction of the 9 new fellows and presentation of awards to the special guest, Governor Caleb Mutfwang, through the Director General, Plateau State Roads Funds, B.D. Bot, and the Vice Chancellor of the University of Jos, Professor Tanko Ishaya. I am Bol Chitpam.
Integrity, accountability, and firmness are the hallmarks of exemplary leadership. These enduring values build trust, strengthen institutions, and inspire confidence in those entrusted with the responsibility of serving others. Plateau State Vice Chairman of the Nigeria Union of Pensioners, Ezekiel Udubre, stated this during the inauguration and swearing-in ceremony of newly elected executive members of the association held at the Union Secretariat in Zarmaganda. Our correspondent has details of the report.
The event brought together members of the union and stakeholders to witness the inauguration and swearing-in of the newly elected executives. Speaking at the ceremony, the Plateau State Vice Chairman of the union, Comrade Ezekiel Udubra, urged the new leadership to uphold integrity, accountability, and fairness in the discharge of their duties.
Leadership is embodied by God, and one is the trust of the people to believe on one's ability, and again, honesty and courage to do the right thing is very essential in leadership.
In a keynote address, the national chairman and guest speaker, Mr. Silva Nwewu, called for unity among members and urged the executives to prioritize the welfare of pensioners.
They should remain united and work in the spirit of comradeship and to focus on the welfare and well-being of our members, because that is the essence of trade unionism.
Speaking on behalf of the new executives, the chairman, John Sharsuk, thanked members for their confidence and pledged to lead with transparency and dedication.
What we intend to do, amongst others, is to ensure that all pensioners are paid promptly. We will ensure that we institute a scheme that pensioners will key into to help in ameliorating their health status.
The ceremony featured the administration of the oath of office and concluded with goodwill messages from members who expressed optimism for a purposeful and united leadership. In Jos, I am Deborah John.
And on the foreign scene, French authorities have ordered the evacuation of the entirety of the Cape Ferret Peninsula on the southwest coast, with hundreds of people escaping the area by boat. Tens of thousands of people are being evacuated from the tourism destination west of Bordeaux as firefighters continue to battle what the local prefect has described as an XXL fire in the Gironde region. The fires, which began on Tuesday, have burned for days, with officials saying 10,000 hectares had been consumed by the flames. Meanwhile, the government in Spain has declared a national emergency as wildfires burn out of control in several areas close to the capital, Madrid. Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez spoke of a dramatic situation and urged people to take great care. 3 fires were burning west of Madrid at Villa del Prado and San Martin de Valdeglesias. French Interior Minister Laurent Nunez said 40,000 people had either been or were in the process of being evacuated from the Cape Ferret Peninsula, which has the Atlantic on one side and the Bay of Arcachon on the other. Local prefect Sophie Broca said 53 homes had been lost, as well as a campsite, but that 2,000 houses had been saved. And that is it on Newstrack. Stay tuned for global news at 6:30 p.m. and news updates at 10 p.m. Good afternoon.